So in this video, I just want to quickly tell, it's very brief, just to explain to you about the first phase of this overall process. As you'll know, the process is in three parts. It's about stabilizing, firstly. The second part is getting into alignment. And the third phase is developing vision and skills. So this first phase of the process that you're committing to is to stabilize the situation between you and your partner. And that is done mainly by reaching a few agreements and commitments. Rather than just an exchange of words that don't, from head to head, that don't really mean anything. This is about making an agreement together and making a commitment to those agreements. So why is this important? It really is important. It's short, but it's about the intention and the attention that you pay to this, that this is not just a series of little tasks. This is from the heart. So you're just looking at the little graphic here, you can see the house built on stone and rocks and the house built on sand. The metaphor is there. If you build on sand, the house will sink. It won't stand. However pretty and lovely and delightfully it is designed, if it's on sand, it won't stand. You need to actually build on solid foundations. So this little video is important because it's spelling out for you the foundations upon which you are going to build your marriage. Most people, the reason why their marriages fail or sink is because they never made these agreements in the first place. And they made vows and they said words, but this is about commitment. So without a firm foundation in place, your marriage will come tumbling down. And we're looking forward to how to put in solid foundations now that maybe, like most people, you were probably young and not tuned into the importance of these things. So the first step is to park your problems. We've already said that, but I'm reiterating, whatever the problems or difficulties that you perceive them to be, part of the problem is going over them and over them and over them and over them without solution, because you don't know the solution. And all your best efforts have got you to where you are now. So you have to stop doing that. Stop it. Usually one partner will insist on carrying on trying to sort the problem out. And you have to recognize that your unsuccessful attempts to resolve matters has possibly become the worst problem and is having a seriously detrimental effect on your marriage. Usually people with controlling personality, that usually they're controlling because they feel a bit insecure. And they find it very difficult to take their hands off the controls and stop trying to sort things out. And they don't seem to get it, that behavior in itself and that constant going back to the problem and giving all sorts of rational reasons why that's what what you both have to do. It is a problem in itself. So look, you just have to commit to parking the problem. And so I will be insisting on you parking the problem because it's destabilizing if you don't do that. Secondly, you have to commit to this process. And it's a tried and tested process, and there is a sequence to it, and it does work. And even if you think you could do it better or it would be better done another way, then that way it will already have been tried, tested, and it doesn't work. So that's why you're involved in this process, and you need to commit to following the process and not deciding how to change it. So stick to the steps. It's like making a Victoria sponge. There's a recipe. You stick to the amounts of ingredients that you put in, and you stick to the sequence that they go in. You don't turn that all around, and you don't think, oh well, yeah, it says 4 ounces of sugar. Oh well, I've only got 2 ounces of sugar, but salt looks a bit similar. We could put 2 ounces of salt in instead. Nobody will know. Yes, they will, because it won't taste right. So there are reasons why you have recipes, you have processes. So you have to commit to the process. That means that you don't think about how you can change it or make it better. You commit to this process. It is about being wholehearted. Most of this process is about getting you both out of your heads and into your hearts and being wholehearted. We all know when people do things half-heartedly, mostly it doesn't achieve what they wanted to achieve, because they're half-hearted about it. I want you both to be wholehearted about your marriage and your future together. Even if you have been feeling, it's all problematic and you don't know where it's going, you may feel half-hearted, but I'm asking you to decide and to commit to being wholehearted, even if you don't always feel it. Feelings are not facts. You can feel half-hearted, but decide, I'm going to put my best effort into this. I'm going to do it wholeheartedly, even if I don't feel that way. So looking at this bread, so why is it important to see the program through to the end? This is a beautifully baked loaf. And the reason why it's beautifully baked is because it was left in the oven to bake for the required length of time for it to rise and to brown and to get crisp and beautiful. There processes, baking is a process, and what we'll be doing together is a process. It's not a series of tasks. It is a process, and it works as a process if you work it. If you take a loaf out of the oven 10 or 15 minutes before it's properly baked, it's going to be half baked. And it's the same with this process of revitalizing your marriage and partnership. It's seeing the whole process through to the end and not cutting it short. So we're talking here about transformation and not change. And the difference very basically is when you change something, it can change back again. When something's transformed, it cannot be changed back. And so the metaphor here is the caterpillar and the butterfly. There is no resemblance between the caterpillar and the butterfly. But this is not a change. This is a transformation, a metamorphosis. And what I'm hoping for you and your relationship in your marriage, look, you've probably all changed things before, and within a few weeks or a few months, you've gone back to where you were before. The change didn't last. This process that I want to take you through is a transformative process. And like it says here, there's nothing in the caterpillar that tells you it's going to be a butterfly. Where you both are at the moment, engaging in this process is engaging, if you do it wholeheartedly and with full commitment, your relationship can be transformed into something that you never dreamed was possible. And so I want you to think about it that way. And step 3 in the stabilizing process, and you're, reaching agreements and commitments. The third step is to make your marriage a priority. And I'm re-emphasizing that from the overview, that you make your marriage a priority. That means over the children, because the best thing you can do for your children is have a secure couple relationship. And the best thing you can do for your family is have a secure couple relationship. So you make it a priority over the children's needs. So if the children need something in the morning, unless it's life and death, you do your daily temperature reading. You do your weekly business meeting. You take time to be a couple and not just parents, because if you're not a couple, you're not going to be happy together. So you make your marriage a priority over work, over children, over the gym, over sport, over any of the other things that you've been holding as a priority in your life. That it's all got to take second place to your marriage and pulling out all the stops to make this marriage work right now. Not doing what you've been used to do, but doing something different. So once again, I'm reminding you, it requires you to be wholehearted, even if you don't feel wholehearted. So it helps if you write it out, that you are in agreement. One of you can write out an agreement and sign it and date it to commit to the program and commit to making your marriage a priority. You can do a screenshot here. And we agree to set our problems aside and spend the next 90 days making our marriage a priority. So once again, the 3 steps that you are committing to is to park your problems, commit to the process, and make your marriage a priority. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.